I'm sure many of you have seen a map of the world like this. Europe nicely in the center. But did you notice, did you realize that Australia down here is bigger than the European Union? Well, how come? Bigger? Well, the thing is that it's not bigger than Europe, no, but European Union is not all Europe. Actually, what we have there is Russia, which is the biggest country in the world, 17 million square kilometers, and 4 million is actually lying in Europe. That makes it the biggest country in Europe, Russia. It is slightly smaller than the European Union, about 10% smaller. By the way, there is another country which is part of Europe that you might not know, Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is also part of Europe, yes. Actually, you probably don't notice this on this map. Kazakhstan is bigger than Spain, France, Germany, and the whole Scandinavia together. Now, you're looking at this, right? This cannot be true. Well, it is true, but you can't see it properly on the map like this because this is a flat map. But as you probably know, there are still some people who don't believe this, but the world is not flat. No. What the maps like this, flat maps do, they actually make some of the countries smaller, like Kazakhstan, than they actually are. Some other countries, like Greenland, much bigger than they truly are. And some continents as well. For example, Latin America, South America, it seems to be about 1/2 of this size, no, of Northern America. But frankly, it's only 1.5 times bigger. This one is 1.5 times bigger than South America. What you see is unfortunately the effect of flatness. Well, if we looked at the world as it should look like, as the world, then you would see that North America here, it is bigger than that one, yes, true, than Latin America. Oh my God, that's really big, isn't it? Yeah? Now, you probably didn't notice, Africa is really big. But on that map, would you believe that it's 3 times bigger than Europe? And I mean Europe including Russia. Europe. When you look here, it's really small. Europe is rather small compared to Africa, which is a massive continent. So clearly, the maps like that distort our vision, actually distort our understanding of the world. Now, the world is not round like this. Actually, it is a little bit squashed like that. Yeah? Well, actually, it is like a pumpkin or a potato. It is not round at all. And that makes some of the countries around the center even bigger, which we cannot see on the map. Now, let's leave the world for a while, because of course we live here, but we send some people away from the world. We actually send them to the moon. And the moon is, the diameter of the moon is about 4 times smaller than the diameter of the Earth. And that means that it would look like this. Is this 4 times smaller? But you might actually wonder, no, this is definitely not 4 times smaller. Well, the thing is that I told you about diameter. Diameter is this size, yeah? From one end to the other end. And that's actually 4 times smaller here. Unfortunately, what you see is the circle. Area of the circle is pi times r squared. Goes that's mathematics. R is the radius. It's from the center to the Earth, to the surface. If I say squared, that means 4 times 4. So that means that basically this one, the area that you see, is 16 times smaller than the Earth. Does it make sense? Yeah. Well, if somebody told you 4 times smaller, what would you imagine? Something very different, wouldn't you? Well, the size matters. Now, how far do you think the moon is from our Earth? Is it this far? Maybe this far? Or maybe this far? Or maybe this far? Guys, you know what? No, this is not far enough. Now, I would need to stretch my hands about 4 meters apart. 4 meters, yeah? 4 meters, that means, could you hold it for a while? Yeah. Something like that. Yeah? That's where the moon is. Okay? That's far away, isn't it? Yes, it is. It is. It's just the gravity that holds it with our Earth. Now, this is just our Earth. if we expand a little bit more, if I wanted to compare Earth with our Sun, well, I cannot stay with this one. No, this is too big. Now I've got this one. That's our Sun. How big is our Earth? How about this one? That's too big. Oh, you already know. Now, how big is our Earth? About the size of a pinball. Yeah, that's how big our Earth is compared to Sun. Actually, the pinball ball that I showed you, we don't have such a planet in our solar system. The biggest one, Jupiter, is about the size of €1 coin. This one, guys. So that's the size of the biggest planet compared to our Sun. Now, when I talk about distances, I already showed you that distances are much bigger in this world. And to show you how big is distance from Earth to the Sun, I would need to do something else. I would need to shrink the Sun a little bit more. So this is our Sun now. It's a 10-cent coin. Could you hold it, please, for me? No, so hold it high. And now I'm going to walk away from Sun. As I get 1 meter away, approximately the distance Mercury is from the Sun. If I get 2 steps away, this is where Venus is approximately from the Sun. If I get 2.5 steps, this, what we call astronomical unit, is about 150 million kilometers away. Now, if I compare that, that would be the size of the orbit of Moon and maybe a little bit more. The size of Earth is really tiny. You can't see it. Now, if I wanted to get to Jupiter, I would need to step 13 steps away. So I would be actually in that other building. And I'm still only at Jupiter. If I wanted to reach Pluto, which is on the outskirts of our solar system, I would have to go 100 steps away. You can't even see that come from there. And that's part of our solar system. Now, I hope you see that Europe, where we live, is a rather small place. And actually our Earth is tiny pinball. Yet the distances that we will need to travel to other places are just tremendous. So we need to keep on staying. Thank you.